she wants.
All right, so we are less than a minute away. The microphones are on and we are recording. We do have somebody logged in online. It looks like it might be media. So please make sure you use your microphones. Button. There you go.
Testing. Okay.
Speak
It's on.
on.
Adina.
Hello.
That's my name.
All right, welcome to the May 19th Park and Tree Committee. If we can start by the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Do a roll call, please.
Chair Matthew Bechtel.
Present.
Vice Chair Lena Tucker. Present. Member Deborah Northern.
Here.
Member Dina Bechtel.
Present.
Member Melanie Jones.
Here.
Member Scott Swanson.
Here.
And Nancy let me know she won't be here tonight.
Do we need to excuse her, or it's all done because she emailed you?
Park and Tree isn't informal, but she emailed me, so it's considered an excused absence since I knew.
Okay. Are there any time reports?
I think I turned our time report into Angela from our Arbor Day event.
Yes.
When
I have
I,
a whole bunch in here, so I
Okay.
think so.
Right, and if we can look over the meeting minutes, I need a motion to pass, to accept them.
I read them at home, so I motioned to pass them.
I second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All opposed? All right, the minutes have been accepted. Are there any public comments? Somebody watching? Okay. About the beautification committee update.
Okay, I gave you my report, should be on in front of you there. I think I'm just gonna try to go over it quickly, but we were at the Arbor Day event on the 25th. We had 4 members manning the booth and 8 people signed up to volunteer. They didn't all come to volunteer though. We had donated seed packets that we gave out, and we raffled off a flower basket that was donated also. We made our beautification t-shirts, and the money used to pay for them came from funds that were already raised by the beautification committee before it became part of the Park and Tree Committee. So, because it was $170, so I didn't really want to donate that much. The volunteers donated 36 hours for weeding and trimming shrubs in the meeting and entryways so far in May. Yesterday, the plants were delivered from Bauman Farms. There were 32 city baskets and 1575 potted petunias in red, white, and night sky. And the 2 14-inch baskets were in the wrong colors, so I told them to take them back. And we're just giving the chamber some smaller baskets made from the loose flowers that we had. The medium planting was today, and we had 19 new volunteers, 9 regulars for a total of 28 volunteers that worked 56 hours. I gave them an orientation at Key Bank at 8:15. The one thing I found out is I didn't quite emphasize the safety enough. I caught a couple people trying to cross through an intersection. I said, no, 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 you can't do that. You can't. But anyway, we didn't have anybody that got hurt, thank goodness. And so they got oriented, and then we began planting at 8:30. Most of them worked for 2 hours and to get all 20 planters completed. Brian Gardner of Cenium Spray donated and spread slow release fertilizer in the beds. Public Works put out the pots and city baskets and checked the drip lines. And then Patty Hulk and her daughter did the checkout booth, and she did check with the Rio Theater ahead of time that we could set it up there. And that worked out really well. She gave them old certificates and sunflower pins that were left over from 2 years ago, but it still had Mayor Coleman's name on it, so it's good. And the volunteers recorded their hours, returned in borrowed items, and we had donated water and donuts for them. And they did a great job of working together. We had 3 Park and Tree members that were there. Melanie, Deborah, and Matthew were there helping. So that was great. Let's see. And thank you to the Public Works for supporting our efforts. The entryways will be tomorrow, and we have Melanie is going to head up the one at Shea Point. There's about 200 plants that go out there. And I'm told that the drip lines and the water, there's a big water container out there that we use to water those plants. It's all set up. 9 a.m. We were going to do clover in the afternoon, but we decided to change it to the morning so it wouldn't be too hot. So it's going to be a big US flag, and Patty Hulk has got that all set up, and it should look really nice. We trimmed the shrubs down a bit so that you could see it better from the highway. So I think that'll work good. And then 11 o'clock at Fern Ridge and Highway 228, just a smaller number of pots there. And just to say that the city of Sweet Home said they would take care of recognizing our volunteers along with other volunteers. So I'm leaving that up to them. Okay, that's it.
Right.
Unless anybody has any questions.
Thank you, Candy.
Mhm.
I was one of the people you caught crossing the street. You didn't believe it.
I know it's tempting.
It's always a good time when we do that. And Mayor Coleman was out there as well. You
Hi.
mentioned her. Thank you very much. That moves us down to old business. Blooms and Brews.
So Cecily sent out a survey to all of the vendors to find out. We have received all positive comments. So everybody that went to that loved it, looking forward to it next year. We had great weather, so that probably did a lot. And there's, we've already started talking about next year a little bit. We are not going to make this one a harvest festival. We're going to keep this one smaller, probably maybe about double the amount of vendors. I mean, part of the vendors that I called this year had already booked, but so I would say there was another 12 that would have possibly. So just stay tuned for that. Obviously, my brain thinks a year ahead, so I've already got some of that in the works. But Cecily said that every comment that came back was extremely positive, just with booths and staff and everything in the park. So great job on the booth. You guys were busy. From what I could tell, almost all day. Every time I walked past and took pictures, there was people at the Park and Tree booths and the beautification booths. So, so good job there. That everybody seemed to love it.
I think it was very successful. I look forward to having more vendors in the future. And I like the live music.
Yeah.
Nice.
That one just will stay a curated vendor selection, just so it stays with the theme of it. So unlike Harvest Festival, that's whatever, this one's going to stay kind of within that theme. So just as you think forward to the future, think of people that might fit in that category. So
I think the food and drink booth those were nice additions.
Mhm.
So,
Great job. How about Sankey Park Phase 3 update?
Well, I'm going to let Dominic and Sean talk about it, but I did put in our first grant report that actually had photos and invoices. So that I felt really good about that. So I was able to send them some actual project updates.
nice.
So that was pretty great. And I'll let Dominic or Sean talk about where we're at. We're way past that one.
I believe concrete should be finished tomorrow. I think is one of their plan. Oh, Thursday. Tuesday. Yeah, Thursday, they're gonna do the rest of the concrete. And that should be all the pass. So after that, I think the contractor comes back next week to backfill behind sidewalks and we're waiting on light poles, which I think are about 2 weeks out still. And rails are being made right now. So it's pretty close. We're still waiting on engineer on the pavilion.
When you say the rails are being made, you're talking handrails?
Handrails, yeah. So everything that's over a 5% slope has to have handrails,
Okay. So it's gonna be out of wood,
metal.
metal.
Yeah.
Any questions?
Mulch or what are your thoughts for some of the
The steep
the
gonna be a
steeper?
pain in the butt section.
Yeah.
Well, they have to probably do some kind of hydro seeding for erosion control.
Yeah.
Right off the bat. I think going forward, we probably need to look at some kind of shrubs, either ferns or some kind of a, I hate to say ivy, but something like that.
Don't say.
Kind of spread. It's just those areas, I don't know if the picture showed it, it's way
It's
steep.
deep. Yeah.
And, you know, if we gotta send guys 2-3 times a year to weed eat it and then clean it up, because we can't just whack it down and leave it. We're gonna have to clean it up.
Ivy can be a good thing if we kept it under control.
Yeah, and they do have, I guess, certain kind of wildflower mixes that are supposed to be pretty good. I really have no clue
It's gonna be in the shade. So that's gonna be
for the most part,
for
yeah,
the most part.
and not irrigated. I
Yeah.
think if we tried to irrigate it, we'd run into too many problems
Yeah.
with runoff.
Mhm.
But everything below the bottom, the seeding area, will irrigate and slope and be able to mow. So that should be nice grass.
Mhm.
Yeah, but the hillside is going to be a challenge.
I'll think about that.
Yeah, I think. We've looked at it several times. Every time I look at
Yeah.
it, it's a headache.
Yeah, I know. You mentioned wildflowers, Scott?
I just said that wildflowers tend to be drought
Scott,
resistant.
can you talk in your microphone?
I just said that wildflowers can be very drought resistant.
Yeah, from what I've seen, they need to be some kind of native,
Yeah.
Right.
because they tend to go that direction.
There are at least 2 seed companies, maybe 3. Well, 2, there's one near Brownsville, one out of Cottage Grove, one up in the canyon, Santiam Canyon, that do specialize in basically native wildflower seeds.
Yeah, so we're
So-
kind of limited with the contractor because they already
Yeah.
have hired their subs. The sub they hired is Anderson Landscaping, I believe out of either Woodburn or Wilsonville, somewhere up there. And they do have a specialty mix for hillsides, I guess.
Okay,
But we'll see.
okay.
There's an up cost to that, so I haven't.
Yeah, I'll shoot you some ideas, just things to look out for. Natives would be good, but it's not a full sun site, so we gotta think about that. But yeah, we'll get there. It looks amazing how quickly it all came together. After sitting there and staring at that hillside for how long? Now to
Well,
actually.
since October of 2023.
Yeah, but now you can actually see it taking shape and
And
Yeah.
if you go up top now, it's a completely different view
yeah,
from what it used to be.
yeah. Fun.
Yeah. Anything else on that? Right, let's move to the monthly park cleanup schedule. We have not discussed anything among ourselves yet.
All right, I just put it on here as a reminder. You guys asked me to, so I stuck it on here just as
Okay.
a reminder
Thank you.
to keep it on there. So, yep.
Do we have any ideas with that? Choose a park for June?
May's not over yet.
No.
Mhm.
And May Day has not happened, right? I didn't miss it. or
Yeah.
wasn't-
Yes, it did.
Okay,
Yeah,
that was
it
the
happened
Black
on a
Friday.
Monday.
What was it, Monday?
Isn't that what I read in the information that Dominic said? It happened on Monday, right? The
The
May
May
Day
Day.
situation with the high school?
That was
Friday,
last Friday.
Last Friday.
Oh, it was a Friday. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
I was pretty much too.
Well, I think I can tell you September might be a good, let's go run through Sankey and clean up before Harvest Fair. How's that?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That would be an easy one.
I don't know if this would fall on here, but I went through Quarry Park the other day and the road coming in it's horrible. Major potholes. So,
So we'll talk about that here in a minute.
okay.
So.
Anything else on that? Let's move to new business, the tree
Do,
inventory.
sorry, on that, do we want to set something up? Or whoever
For
can?
June?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, if nothing else, I can do it. It looks like you're interested.
Absolutely, I'd do it.
You mentioned, yeah, I personally, things open up for me in June. Like even the first week of June, I could do a morning.
Which park?
Well, what could, I mean,
Would you
I
guys
kinda
like me to send, I mean, we do have the parks brochure, which lists all the parks, but I could just send a sheet, create something that lists all the parks, and then you guys can choose, give you something like a spreadsheet, or it's up to you guys.
I'm also fine with getting some suggestion from you guys, like what could you use help with?
How about Clover? I haven't been up into the park for a while, but is there still just a lot of kind of twigs and branches from past ice storms, or did you guys tackle
No,
all that?
he's done a pretty good job cleaning
Okay.
that up. The little creek going through, we need to do some trimming. The suckers around the little bridge,
Okay.
probably the back fence line needs some trimming
Yeah.
on those old apple trees and stuff.
Maybe if folks want to go do a run through, take a look at parks, and that might help come up with an idea.
I've never been in Strawberry before. I've been on the outer skirts of it. I'm kind of anxious to see what it's. I mean, there's a lot of acreage there. Really.
Yeah, Strawberry's pretty big.
Have a day, or should we decide on that later? Schedules.
I
I'm
don't care. I
open.
mean, I'm open to figuring it out now. I think
Me
it
too.
might better chance of it getting done if we're able to.
We're going for June, or we're going for? Oh, okay. Well, this coming weekend is
I
Memorial, so we
yeah, yeah.
wait till June.
I'm personally June's better for me because I have
Okay.
a busy week next week. And mornings are good for me. Well,
Mm-hmm.
it's cooler then anyway. Yeah, I just have a couple conflicts in June and it's really just with the beautification those days. But other than that, I'm pretty open. Like,
the second week, like we did May.
if it is the second week, it'd have to be Wednesday. It could not be Tuesdays or Thursday for me because that's
Okay.
when
How
beautification,
about the third week?
well, or the second week would work. If it could be Wednesday, that would work. But
Okay.
or the third week for
That's fine
me.
with me. Anybody else have anything to say?
10th works for me.
Okay.
I have one question about, are you also responsible for the path that goes along Foster Lake from Shea Point? Or is that part of Corps of Engineers? That's Corps of Engineers.
It's a long and complicated story.
That's owned by the Corps of Engineers and maintained by Lynn County Parks.
Okay. It's just, my husband and I walk that quite often, and there's so much poison oak out there. It's just really thriving this year. It's a little scary.
So just for the minutes, so I can put it on there, you guys are June 10th
Yeah.
and you're going to go to
Clover?
Clover.
Okay.
Okay.
Ah, that's good.
Okay. Yep. I'll make sure to put that in there. So
So just kind of come with tools, whatever, in case, yeah, see what needs to be done.
Sounds like pruners.
Okay, anything else on the park cleanup? And I like your idea, Angela, if you wouldn't mind doing a spreadsheet. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
So how about our tree inventory?
So I put this on here. So tree inventory and then the second one, the master tree list. These are part of the duties of the Park and Tree Committee. One of the things, and we had kind of briefly talked about it in the past, Lena and Wally had done the tree inventory quite a while ago. We actually had a program. What I would like to maybe recommend is when you guys are doing these park cleanups is for the tree inventory, do your possibly the EAB prone species. Like when you're in the parks, start listing off if there's, the ash or the birch in the parks. And because at some point we're going to have to start looking at that. And if you're already there, that just might be something good to add to your activities while you're there.
They've updated the inventory so that there's actually quite a few categories
Okay.
for EAB. It's mostly more EAB damage or
Mhm.
symptoms, but all the parks are done and in the inventory.
Okay. We probably need to get re-logged in and show somebody who, because I don't even know if I have my login.
Yeah. What I've forgotten how to do is print you reports. I think the last really good reports that I did were Northside and Ashbrook, which should be in your files somewhere.
Yeah, I should have those.
So,
So let's get
yeah.
together and see about, because I
Yeah.
need to see if I can log in still and
I think
be
I
able to
need
get into
to
there.
watch the instructional videos to remind myself how
Okay.
to do. The reports aren't intuitive for some reason
Mhm.
in the
Lane,
program.
what software was that? Remember?
It was a custom made called Tree Plotter, and it can be exported, I'm assuming, to an Excel file.
I wonder if
haven't-
it could go into ARC, into the ODFW.
Hmm.
If
I'll-
there
I'll
was,
check.
if there was a layer that had like the ash trees.
Yeah, it's kind of a little weak, I'd say, on the GIS mapping components. Although they're there because when you do print out a map, you get the Google Earth version with the color-coded dots that represent the trees. So the ash and clovers marked and Sankey's marked, north side, the street trees. So all those are done. Let me play around with it, and then once I get an idea of what I think I know, I'll holler at you and see if we can get you logged back in.
Yeah, and the other
Yeah.
thought behind that is to have someone other than just you,
Yes.
so that more of the committee can help with that, because it's a
Yeah.
committee,
Mhm.
task, and so when we first got that, you and Wally were willing to take it on and learn it, so that was a learning curve just to do it to begin with. So I just thought I would kind of plug that in, and as we're at it, because we need to start looking at the EAB prone species. So might be a good time to do that. And we hadn't really talked about how we were going to do that, but as I was going through, because springtime is when we start talking about these, because there's leaves and it's easier to identify trees.
Yeah.
Well, for me, anyway.
Nope. I do know all the key ash in the parks are mapped until you get into the riparian areas, which is just woodland. The east side of Sankey, I still need to work on that. So that could actually be a workday project. It's not hard. It's a little tedious when you're trying to grab stuff and then do it on your phone. But I've also just drawn a map and then go download it later. So, but yeah, Let me refresh my memory on how to pull reports out of it.
Remember Wally talking a lot about it. Said he'd take a laptop out with him and
He did, and I know why now, because yeah, it'll zap a battery pretty quick on my phone at least. So yeah. So I'd kind of do most of it and then I'd hand draw a map and then I'd go back and download it on my computer. All the new Arbor Day trees, everything that we planted in the past few years, I've gone back and put those in, or trees we took out. I'd go back and, okay, that one's gone, this is in. So,
Okay.
So it's updated on that front.
And then the master tree list, that is also something Lena was working on. And it might be good to just start showing, yeah. Because I know you were going to pull out species that weren't going to be so good for planting anymore, especially street trees and that type of thing. So that's another thing. So as we get these lists together, it would be good for everyone once we get it compiled to just get familiar with the tree inventory and the tree lists. Just, as a part of your duties as the Park and Tree Committee, that way when you're out and about, you can know kind of how to pay attention to those and how to inventory those. So
my goal will be to pull out the clover inventory and map and whatever I can before we go there in June. Then everybody can see it. See if I missed anything.
thank you, Lena, for
give us a
all
copy
your
of
work.
that several months ago. Get a packet of
Oh.
food.
Probably not this one. This is what replaces kind of the approved tree list. I built on the one that was done, I want to say in 2015.
2014, 2015, somewhere in that area.
there. And, I have a draft. I still need to do some editing. I kind of, City of Lebanon has like a 2-pager approved street tree list. But when you think of what we do, we're doing a lot more in the parks. And so this one was kind of organized by, I kind of took the Pacific Power information, like, how big is your space? Does it have overhead wires? So it's kind of broken into different categories. And I'm using an old tree list that we had, and I'm looking at some of these going, why would we plant that? It has thorns, or the seeds are toxic to dogs. Why would I put that in a park, So now I need to kind of go back through and look at some of these exotic things that so it's getting there. But I mean, I can leave you a draft, Angela. But
Oh, I just wanted to make sure it's just a springtime thing so that
yeah,
we're working
the
on
leaves
it.
are
and then-
out.
Yeah. And then once we get another master tree list, then I will.
We need to codify it or
I think so,
something.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
So-
what we've done in the past.
So what we'll do is once you get it to a draft form, then we'll have everyone review it and then we'll move it through the
Yeah.
process. So
One of the things that was on here is kind of a reference list of resources. And so instead of listing every single variety of maple you can buy on the market, it's like, okay, there's sugar maples, there's, a few different varieties of maples, and then there's a million different cultivars, for color and everything. And so I don't want to get that detailed because that's limiting to what somebody might come up with or whatever the newest variety of maple is. What are good resources are the Pacific Power 100 trees for small spaces, urban areas, near power lines, not near power lines. And this is actually, I mean, it's kind of, if we cite our reference material, then these are always kind of the backup guides.
Okay.
So that's kind of what I've been working on until I get my trees all confused.
And are you able to train us on the software?
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yep. I can.
wonderful.
Yep.
Anything else on the master tree list? That brings us down to roundtable discussions.
I do have quite a few, but I'll let you guys go first.
Go ahead.
Swag. So I remember I was supposed to kind of look at some of the handouts that we're needing to fill our tote up with and prices. And we raised, what did we come back with? $97 from our donations at Arbor Day?
Sound about right?
So, maybe we can use some of that for these, but
Okay.
everybody was asking about crayons. On Amazon, you can get 250 sets of the 4-pack crayons, so the basic colors. So that's 1,000 crayons for $38. Does that seem, I'm not into crayon shopping, but because we always have coloring pages. And, folks grab those like crazy, coloring books, coloring pages, and if we could have just 4 basic crayons to go with it, that would be kind of fun. And it doesn't have to be branded. I mean, these are Crayola, but if that seems like a reasonable cost for 250 sets of crayons, I think that would go a long ways with the handouts that we do. Carabiners, I think we're out of those, and those seem to be popular. The carabiners are 30 for $11. Not too bad. Pencil sharpeners. We did pencil sharpeners. We have lots of pencils. We don't need to order pencils. Pencil sharpeners we gave out at the health fair in August. So they also have the backpack program. And so we had the pencils and pencil sharpeners, for kids for their backpacks. And those are 50 for $13. I did find the zipper pulls, the Woodsy Owl zipper pulls, 50 of those for 16. There is a Woodsy Owl whistle, compass, and thermometer. Fun till we pass them out, and then it's all you hear. But I thought, that is something different. And, it kind of goes with an outdoorsy type of theme.
Oh, it's all in one.
It's an all-in-one. So, book bags. And these are Smokey Bear themed just because I was looking at the National Symbols website, but they're just the plastic bag. And they're 25 for $5, for kids to put their stuff in. So a few ideas.
And also for the tote, we're holding off printing more park brochures because
Okay.
we're trying to add the newer parks in. We don't have the original program though, so we're kind of working through
Oh.
trying to edit it. So,
Oh, okay.
And we're hoping the person that originally edited it will be able to kind of assist, or the program, we have a compatible program that we're going to be able to do it with. So,
Okay.
so hopefully here soon, and we might have a couple extra parks we're going to be adding to it. So we're, so just so you know, I haven't printed any new ones yet because we're holding off trying to get that done.
Okay.
And then I should have put all of this kind of under new business. So I don't have, we still have an exercise park. We got the grant for that. But we have to wait till the next fiscal year to get it started. So that one's kind of on hold until after July 1st. So we have started to clear some underbrush at Quarry Park to prepare for a designer to come in on site in September. There will be a future disc golf course.
Oh, sweet.
So when you talk about the roads and whatnot, things will eventually get improved, but we're waiting for some of this stuff to get done. So they are working on quotes to refurbish the courts at Northside. And then, sorry, I'm trying to scroll down here. Their staff is working on a grant opportunity to supplement the Junior High Interact Club for the skate park work. And then the last thing, I gave you guys a flyer. Movies in the Park starts June 12th, and the first movie is Zootopia. So, and Sherry Gregory will be providing all the snacks again for free. Usually she has a great amount. Pizzas, usually, the ices. So that is all I have.
Quick question. Northside, you said the courts are getting
They are
resurfaced?
getting quotes.
Oh, okay.
Is that the racquetball courts or the or the basketball court or what?
It's currently it's the tennis court that we're getting quotes for.
Good.
I guess I didn't ask her specifically.
I was the one working on it, so luckily I'm here.
She just wrote quotes.
Regarding Quarry Park, has there been any discussions about actually deeming it a park? It was Blair Larson that coined it as Quarry Park.
Actually, no, I think it was Joe, wasn't it, that called it that? Who knows? I think it is technically a park, but it's also been designed for recreation. So is what kind of the future, which is the start, is going to be the disc golf course. The wetland delineation got done this past year. So there are limits to what can go down there and what, and there's plans, but none of it is sorted out yet of what's going to happen down there. So how it gets deemed a park, I'm not exactly sure what the process for that, or we just call it a park. I don't know.
The other hesitation where we haven't pushed it super hard as an official park is there's no utilities on site. So when people hear the word park,
Yeah.
they pull in looking for a bathroom or drinking fountain, and with not having water or sewer on site, we've held off a little bit. We've internally called it Quarry Park, so we know where we are talking about,
Yeah.
but we haven't pushed it super hard as that just because there's not a lot of amenities down there.
And with the building codes division, actually, once you start getting certain amenities, you are required to have, depending on the level of the amenities, bathrooms and different facilities there. So it depends on what is there of it's actually building codes division even that requires it. So,
Okay.
so until we are ready with utilities down there, makes it difficult to go that far.
Okay. Understand.
So it's more like a natural area or something like
Yeah,
that.
correct.
That is all I've got. Does anybody else have anything else? Yes, Sean.
We mentioned EAB. I don't know if we told you last time, but we have 6 traps from ODFW,
Oh, ODF.
ODF with bait. And so the end of this month, we're going to place them out. And then we'll check them, 3 months?
8 weeks.
8 weeks later, and then we'll pull them down at the end of another 8 weeks. And monitor them, and
Oh,
hopefully we
nice.
don't find anything, but we're going to do our part to
Yeah.
get the monitoring out there.
And we went to a couple trainings,
Mhm.
got the okay from city managers to pursue some injection equipment and get Sean his insecticide license.
All right.
Is he smiling?
Nice.
So we could work on saving the trees
Yep.
that we want to save.
Wonderful news.
Do you know where you're going to place the traps yet?
Yeah, Hobart,
Yeah.
potentially 2, one on the east side, one on the west side.
Yeah.
We've talked about the big Astrea clover. The South Hills Trails off of Elm has a big corridor of ash. We've
Mhm.
thought about there. Corey, as you drive in, there's a
Yeah.
lot of ash trees out there.
The Flex building,
40,
30.
yeah, behind the Flex building. There's some ash grove down at the bottom.
Yeah.
So
No,
that's
that
kind of by the tracks, and
Mhm.
trying to get them
Yeah.
kind of strategically placed around the town. So
Nice.
Excellent. Thank you.
Well,
Thanks for sharing that.
yeah, I mean, it'd be good to know either way.
But it's going to be here soon. It's in Marion County
Yeah.
as of last year. And it's just, one piece of firewood
Yeah.
and it's here. So we're in the kind of thinking stage of what to
Mhm.
do when it gets here, how,
Mhm.
because it's not just how it's going to affect the city it's the residents and even the people just out of town and
Mhm.
in the Oregon ODF's jurisdiction. So we're probably gonna have to come up with a site and a way to get rid of it. Luckily we have enough room to burn, but chipping is a possibility, and other places are looking at incinerators.
Yeah.
So
Was there, when you went to the trainings, was there how to say this? Was there a doomsday prophecy, or was there a little bit of hope or brightness, or just a, hey, beware?
I believe they said 1 in 1,000 trees would survive.
Okay.
Now that's at full.
Yeah, yeah.
like,
And that's what they're seeing in Michigan and back
Yeah.
east. But we're ahead of it. So we, if we do want to save
Our
X amount of
key.
trees, it's just how much money, because it's expensive. What was it, $900 for a quart or half a quart of product.
Wow.
Basically right now up in Portland area, they're getting $400 a tree to inject. And that's every other year. So it's a 2-year
Mhm.
product.
Wow. So then it's important to just really identify our key ash trees along the streets or the singular ones in the parks, but
Yeah,
when
and they
it
are
comes-
working on hybrid ash trees that are supposed to be less susceptible to them.
Mhm.
But how far away that is, who
Yeah.
knows?
Being proactive is the way to go. So
Yeah,
appreciate
because
it.
it's gonna be here. I mean, there's no
Mhm.
way around it.
Well, don't start any olive orchards because olive is another susceptible species.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought our guy said olive was good.
No, olive is another, and there are actually some olive, I guess, orchard groves with people starting, to create olive oil in the valley. So that's a bummer. Okay. Thank you. Thank you guys for investing your time
Yeah.
and the city
Sure.
for investing the funding and the training and thinking proactively about it.
There's nothing else. I will adjourn at 4:41.
Do what? Oh, we need more woodpeckers. Yeah.